In this video, I'm going to talk about CrawlWP. It is a new WordPress plugin available as a lifetime deal in Navsumo. So what I wanted to create was to give you an in-depth video based on what are the things I personally love from SEO standpoint, because you should be very careful, but what are the purposes it serves, what kind of benefits it's provide, how to use them, and how to use them safely. So this is that video supposed to be. I wanted to create an in-depth video explaining what this plugin is doing and also showcasing how to use this plugin. Okay, let me explain a bit about CrawlWP to give you a basic understanding, because you should have a clear understanding of what this product is doing in order to get the full picture. Or even if you're a beginner, you're not sure because it just mentioned instant indexing, SEO. So what is the purpose of this plugin? Basically, it is a WordPress plugin. That means you can only use this with WordPress websites, not a standalone product, or can't use with Shopify or anything like that. It's just a WordPress plugin. What it is allowing us to do is it is allowing us to make indexing requests for search engines much faster. Now you may ask what is indexing request, or you might ask what is indexing. In order to give you an idea, just a basic diagram I created. You have your own website. It can be a blog, website, or anything like that. And you create good blog posts, pages, service pages, and everything. We create different pages. The reason we create is we want to show this content we created to our potential audiences. The potential audiences can come into our websites into three categories. One, direct, referral, or search engine. We all know the CrawlWP is not going to work with referral or direct. It is going to be working with search engine or SEO. Well, these are the results, or these are the pages. When we are saying people are coming from search engine optimization, what they are essentially doing is they are going into search engine like Google. We are talking about Google here because still Google is the biggest search engine of all of them. We have AI search engines, a lot of competitors like Bing, Yandex, and everything, but still Google is the king with over 90% of search traffic. So you write a blog post about something, and when they search for it, ideally the results, whichever the things coming into this list, it should include your own pages also. So when you get founded somewhere in this list, there is a process called SEO, improving all that things, but all those are secondary. First, your web page should be indexed in Google. So that is what this plugin helps you to do a bit better. So what happening here is you create your all content. We have Google. Google is the main search engine. What we are essentially doing by installing this plugin is we already can request indexing request through Google Search Console. I have created a separate video showing how you can do that via that. Google itself providing great free resources where you can go inside, see all site metrics, even submit your pages and do that. What this plugin does it is taking that one step above, giving all the controls for you within your website and some shortcuts, or maybe you can even call it as hacks until you know how safe you can start using it. That way you can make much better or much more fast or aggressive way to ask Google to index your web pages. This will be useful in two cases. One, if you are creating a content in a time-sensitive environment, you want that content to be indexed fast as possible. And also, if you are creating content in a brand new content, I mean something new, for example, in the AI space, some new AI software will get developed very fast without knowing. There won't be any history. Suddenly a new AI software will drop. So when I create a content based on it, I want to make that content indexed fast as possible to gain maximum momentum from that particular content piece. So for that reason, or what you will be using for indexing is, we want to make sure we have the hundreds of pages, thousands of pages in our website. So not every single time I can go and start doing it manually, or we have a client, we want to make sure to give them a possible way of doing, they are not sure how to do the Google. Or for all this reason, this is where this plugin comes into play. So we will install this plugin in somewhere here and make the Google indexing process much more faster. Like we have more control over that within our website. Without that plugin also, we can do it manually, but with less controls, with less amount of data. I will show you the differences in this video. So that is where this plugin comes into play. This plugin works somewhere around here, and it will automatically make all this process to submitting to Google and other search engine index much faster. The reason I have done this the opposite direction also, sometimes what happens is just a fact SEO tip for you. Not every single time you need to ask Google to index something. Once your site gets some authority, some momentum, Google also will periodically crawl your website and index your content. So that is their major job, because not every single website is going to be asking them to index. Google should be doing that automatically, or any search engine or crawler job is to do that automatically. So the Google also will do it periodically, but we are just using this plugin to make sure that we get more attention from Google. So that is the main use case of this product. Now, before I go into showing how to use the product, I want to cover one more important aspect of it, just to give you a clear understanding of what it's doing, how to safely do it, because we see all this feature with indexing, auto indexing, searching. I will be explaining all these things. The key factor which I'm showing, want to explain is, this is an indexing tool we already know, because it's working with Google, Bing, Yandex, all the other search engines for this purposes, there's something called IndexNow. This is a key important SEO factor, which might be not known to beginners or if you're just doing SEO as a part-time. This is a protocol. They formed this protocol, something called like if you go into indexnow.org, you can learn about these things. This is where bunch of search engines have created some kind of a protocol. You can read through it, where when you use this API and submit it, it will automatically inform some of the major search engines. You can see all the list about it. Is a simple ping. So whenever you use this IndexNow, it will work very good with these search engines and any other additional stuff. You can read about it all through these things. But Google, it's not always comes into this particular bucket. What Google has, they have their own Google indexing API. This is also very important because this can maybe cause some problems if you're not using it correctly. Where this happening is, Google has something called Google Indexing API. If you search for it, you can learn about it within Google itself. For example, this is Google Indexing API. You can see Indexing API quick clicks, how you can use the Indexing API. All these data are shown here. So here, let me open this. This is important, please do not skip, so because you should be aware of it. So this is the basic page. You can see what Google is made this API for. It is for a different purposes. What they are using is, they have created this indexing API mainly for job posting and live streaming website, because these are the website with major amount of content and it will consistently changing. So they have created an indexing API to support this purposes, but it can be utilized for any website because they have created this particular request or services focusing on for these both things. So what happens is, if you are just bulk spamming, or if you're just consistently using this in an unnatural way, it can lead to a problem with your Google account, maybe disabling, suspending, or anything can happen. So what you should be aware of it, this is not, we are using some kind of hack to get this benefit to our regular content. If you are having a job content website or even lifestyle, then it will be ideal. You are safe within that. So in this case, you have two options. One, you use this feature and try to be safe as possible and only use it when it's necessary, or you go another step. For example, we can use this particular plugin to see all the not indexed pages. Then we have the option to open that URL externally via our Google Search Console, and through that you can submit it. When you're submitting through that, you're 100% safe because there is no limit on that. You're 100% legally doing that. So rather than doing it directly, you just add one click in middle of that, then you will be safe. I will be also showing that in this video. So I just wanted to explain you that IndexNow, it is totally 100%. You can automatically do everything. There is no restriction and everything is supported. Just for Google Indexing API, I encourage you to take precautionary measures to make sure whatever the content which you are doing or process is not jeopardizing any other problems within your account. So that is the thing. I have taken too much time here itself because I wanted to explain this plugin first, and I want to explain its purpose. Let me show you how you can start using it and what are the benefits you can get from it. So you can see now I have logged into my website. This is where I'm going to install it. I'm going to show it in a live example website itself because I don't want to show the demo data, and it also don't work for this kind of plugin to show demo data. So we come into add new plugin and search for CrawlWP. You can see they already have active installation over 40,000 website, which is really good to be honest, and also 47 plus 5-star reviews, still really good. Just click on install now. They have two versions. One, they have a free version. Two, they have the premium version, which is on the lifetime deal right now. You can use the free version itself, but for some pro features, if you go into this page, you can see this is the free plugin. They have shown all the details here, and they have the core features listed out because these are available within the free plugin itself. In case if you want the premium, you have all these options. If the just basic features are enough for you, you don't need to buy the premium version itself. Let me activate it. I'll show you what is the features available both in free and paid. I'll show you the differences. So I have installed the plugin. Within this plugin, this is a basic free version. I've still not set up the pro version. You can see I still get the upgraded premium. Let me see what are the things available here. First one, we have the indexing tab here, where we have the control over what are the posts or content within our website we want to have for indexing. So it, by default, selected post. If you want to make it available for pages, we can do that. Media, these are like images, all the videos we uploaded to our website. Free software, this is a custom post type. So the good news is it also supports custom post type. So within WordPress, I have created a custom post type and it is enabled for that also. Apart from that, we have taxonomies. Like if you want to submit our taxonomies for indexing, we want to see all those things, you can select that. Here, notify search engine when. This is something like if you want to automate some process, whenever a post is added or created, we want to notify the search engine. So it makes that process automatic. Like if you're also updating a post, like sometimes this is a really important concept within SEO, like post age is a factor to keep the content fresh. So if we are created a SEO guide in 2020, let's say, if we are updating that for 2025, there are going to be considerable content changes in that, because how we did SEO in 2020 is completely different on how we are doing SEO in 2025. So here what we are going to do is turn on post updated. So whenever we are updating the content also, that is going to be getting notified. Term added, when you add any terms or tags to that, you can do that. Disable for bulk edit. Let's say, for example, you're going to do something bulk edit, you don't want that, then make sure to enable those and show the last update column also. And you can set ping delays. So if you want, you can go for 1 minute, or you can go up to, if you have more safety concern, go with higher limits here as well. I'm just going to keep it 2 minutes and click on save changes. I have saved it. Next tab we have is IndexNow. IndexNow, as I explained previously, this is that protocol enable. You can see if I click here, it will open up these particular details for it. For example, you can see like any pages, you see all this question mark. That is a really good one they have done. What they have done is just click on any pages section here. You can see this is showing me an example of the value. Whenever you enable it, click on some search engine and click on save, it will save. So it have the API key, sample API key here. You need to be selecting for IndexNow. You can select any of this, but I recommend Bing or Yandex, which works really good. Once you click on that, you see just have that installed and click on save, then you set up that particular feature here. That is how this particular IndexNow works. You can also select different one. So that is how IndexNow is simple for you, as I mentioned previously. But still remember, we need a separate indexing protocol for Google. But for Bing, Yandex, you can read this like Bing supports IndexNow protocol. You might not need to enable this if IndexNow is active. So what is they are saying that if I'm set up this IndexNow correctly, I don't need to separately do this, both of this, because both of them supports IndexNow feature. Only search engine which you should be aware of it, and we are primarily using it for Google API. For this to turn on, we need to go into the API setting, which is available here, and we can go from here also. For example, if I click here, this is where we want to create a JSON key value. To get that, it's a bit technical to be honest, but just click on this question mark. And this is the guide, and you should follow this particular guide. Like it will give you step-by-step instruction on what you should be doing and how you can get that particular JSON key. Then using this particular key, we will once we create this particular key, like it is a huge process, but once that is done, we will get JSON key after completing this step. Then we will be start using it. So I will try to get the JSON key right now. I'll try to pause it because there will be so many sensitive information. Like I need to go into my Google Search Console. I need to go into my Google admin panel to create API keys and all these things. So just I'm going to follow this step by step and create my JSON key, and I will continue from there. Now I have followed this instruction. It was not that much difficult, to be honest. It is very easy. You just need to click on this link if you already have a Google Cloud project set up, then get the details of JSON and create a service account and add it to Google Search Console, which is really straightforward if you follow the instruction they have given, which is easy. So once I did that, I was able to get my JSON key. Press here and click on save. It will be done. So that is the settings with Google API. Apart from that, if I go into indexing after I set up, if I enable this and click on save changes, this will save the changes. So whenever a new post is added, it will automatically submit to the Google Index API also. So apart from that, they have Yandex. We have the log control on which are the log even we are able to see. Apart from that, there is nothing else in the free version. We are still exploring the free version. If I want to go into the main section, for example, the core functionalities of this plugin is residing on SEO stats and SEO indexing, where it gives you more control over more data and everything through this. So for this, now I'm going to upload my pro version of this plugin. So from this point onwards, whatever the features you are seeing will be only available within pro feature. Click on save changes after pasting the license key. Now you can see my license is activated. Now if I go into API settings, there's no changes. Indexing, there is no changes. Everything on free, we are able to see it here. Only difference is going to be here. One is SEO stats. So as soon as I opened SEO stats, this is what you will see, like what kind of data you are seeing, what kind of filters, all these things. Basically, if you're already having this data through Google Search Console, so there's no difference, to be honest. Only the difference is they have a different kind of dashboard to show all kind of data here. That is the only major differences here. Like if you go into Google Search Console, under the data reporting, you will see all these things, but in a different format. some of you might prefer that format, some of you will prefer this format, because this is a nice dashboard. They are presenting the data very flexibly in a more graphical way. Like quickly, you can see my site got got affected due to a Google update. I'm in a recovery position, so I'm able to clearly see that. You can see a massive drop in results on March. I still yet to recover it, but slowly it's starting to recover it, so that is a good sign. Apart from that, I'm able to see the keywords, I'm able to see the copy data. So for example, I want to find any keyword related to me, I can search through it really fast. If I want to see any pages which is related to SEO rank, so I just click on here and it should show me all the pages. For some reason it's not showing me. I'm not sure why. In this case it should work. For example, here it's working. Here also it's returning the wrong data. So I'm not sure why this is happening. Okay, so if I search for some words which are not available in the search term, then it's not showing. If there's something available, then it's showing. Okay, that is the reason. Apart from that, we are seeing top countries, top devices. So all this data is shown here. Two reasons this might be helpful. One, if you are giving it to a client, you don't need to separately give them Search Console access. It is available through here itself, which will be much more easier. And also the interface also does not feel bulky. It feels very fast, and a lot of major important or vital information is shown here. That is also a good sign here. Apart from that, if you prefer Google Search Console, you can use that. Or if you prefer to see the data like here, this one, you can use that. I'm also a big fan of SEO Crawl, my personal favorite for seeing this data like that. So it's depending on users. This is the next main thing, which is SEO indexing. This is the pro feature which we get. We see index pages indexed by crawl, in progress, not indexed. So we can see all the posts which I selected based on my taxonomy and the options which I set on settings. It is giving me all those options here. I can either do one by one. You can see index status check, whether it is checked or not. So I can see filter it, all the things. I can add more missing pages. Like if I see any missing pages, I trigger this step to find those pages. I have the option to click something and click here and submit for indexing. So if I click on that, you can see now it shows that is in progress. So it is automatically going to send that to index process. So it's in progress. Once it's finished submitting, I will see all the data here also filled out. So depending on that, whichever the post I want to index, let's say for example something like this, for all these things I can make it submit for index. The reason it's showing not indexed in Bing indexes because I did not set up Bing index key yet. It is the same process like Google. In settings, you can set up Bing index and you can submit it. And you can see now all of them are in progress. This is how you can select multiple one. You can submit it. You can also do bulk, but for security reasons, I'm not a huge fan of doing bulk for more than, let's say, 10 to 20. I like to be in a safer side, especially since I'm recovering. So if I see a post which is not indexing, maybe I will try to do bulk stuff. And also you can enable auto indexing. So with this, it is always going to try and start getting auto indexing. If ever found out that it's not indexed or anything like that, it is still going to be targeting and showing me all the auto indexing. It automatically going to be doing that. So apart from that, let me see whether I can show you. I'm not sure at the moment how long this process is going to take for each one. I have set up this. Let's see whether we can see any data within the log section of it. Still, it shows me in progress. So I'm going to go into settings, log. So the reason it didn't work for me is that you don't own. It says that it's not allowing me to submit the URL for verification, which I have done. So let me recheck it. So still I'm trying to use this plugin for this particular purposes. For some reason, I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Probably I will reach out to the support team and ask about it. It still shows in progress. But for example, even if I submit some of this thing again and it's in progress, let me select some which I have not yet done. And you can see it is also marked as in progress, but it's not doing anything after this here in this step. For example, if I go into the settings, you can see the log. I'm not seeing any log item. I'm not sure why it is happening. I have enabled all the logs here. So it's not showing me the log section. Probably I will reach out to the support team to see if I have set up the Google link between the plugin and this somehow wrong. So probably I will try it again and I will paste an update within the YouTube description for you guys to let you know the status of what happened, what I did wrong, or what was the resolution for this. So that is what CrawlWP. I hope I have given you somehow a clear understanding of this particular plugin. This is currently in a lifetime deal in AppSumo. It is just to manage indexing within your WordPress site and see Search Console data within your WordPress. It might be needed for everyone, but if you want to see all the indexing features, if you want to see or get the indexing features, maybe this is something interested for you. And also sometimes if you are already a premium within a user of Rank Math SEO Press, they also do offer this part of the SEO process also within their premium suite. So if you're already using any premium SEO plugins, you might want to check out that to see whether you have something which is already available, which is enough for you or not. Only then, if you are wanting to have something which completely have all kind of indexing within this and also want to see the data, maybe you can consider this and to see whether something it's needed for you or not. Hopefully, again, I have cleared all the doubts. If you have any other questions or doubt, do let me know in the comments and I will check it out and answer it for you.